Good day. We are Group 12. My name is Jan Lorenzo Ang, and we will be reporting transportation, the backbone of logistics. So, to introduce our report, um, we would be presenting the core concepts, the importance, cost drivers, and global aspects and modeling tools of transportation in hospitality logistics. We will also be discussing the trade-offs in transport decisions, apply basic assignment models, and connect strategies to guest service excellence, ensuring fresh ingredients arrive on time for memorable dining experience. So next is for the core concepts of logistical transportation systems. So transportation is the movement of goods or materials from one place to another, and this enables businesses to effectively deliver their products to their customers. And moving goods across supply chain nodes via various modes and infrastructure. So supply chain modes are the locations where goods are produced, stored, transferred, and or consumed. Examples of this are suppliers, factories, warehouses, and hotels. So next we have modes. Modes are how um, deliveries are made in transportation. So we have road or land, same with rail or train, air, sea, and intermodal options. Intermodal options are just the movement of goods between different modes of transportation, using multiple modes of transportation. So either from road to sea and then back to road. And the next is infrastructure ports. We have airports, seaports, highways, and warehouses. These are the physical buildings or structures that support transport. Next is vehicles or equipment. We have trucks, containers, and specialized carriers such as refrigerated vans that are used to transport perishable goods. Next is information systems, TMS for routing and real-time tracking. So TMS is transportation management system. It is a software that plans routes and the rates that these routes or transportation costs and the carrier selections on which depends on the type of product that is being moved. And then next is the service attributes like transit time, reliability, capacity are crucial for hospitality and perishables. So transit time is the time taken from shipment to move from the origin to its destination, and then the reliability is the consistency of meeting promised delivery times and conditions. The frequency is how often the transport services run between locations. Capacity is the volume or weight that the transport mode or carrier can carry. And that's it. Next is system level trade-offs and hospitality applications. So first is cost versus speed. Balancing budget with urgency. Air for express deliveries versus sea for bulk shipments. So first is for air, you're trading off speed versus cost because air transport is more costly than sea transport, but it is much faster compared to sea transport. And also for sea transport, you can do bulk shipments, which means you can deliver a lot more materials compared to air transport. Next is centralization versus decentralization. So centralization, it is a focusing on one inventory hub for cost efficiency and standardization. And then decentralization, um, it spreads the operations across multiple regional nodes. And they do this for greater flexibility, faster local customer response, and reduced outbound transport costs. And then next is inventory versus transport trade-off. So, inventory, where you hold more stock to reduce transport frequency and costs, but has risks of spoilage if the inventory isn't used immediately, compared to timed LTL or less than truckload. This means shipping. It's a shipping method where multiple small shipments are consolidated in one truck. And this one is an example of this is inventory is placing multiple materials or products in one location, and it, it risks it risks spoilage compared to transport trade-offs, where you the, you take deliveries daily, so you can always have fresher products or materials. Just like here in the example, daily refrigerated shipments from a central kitchen to 5 hotels versus on-demand local sourcing. So for this example, using one inventory or a centralization, so there's one inventory that holds materials or ingredients for 5 hotels, compared to local sourcing where they get their products from different local sources, and it is always fresh. And that's it for my report.
Good day everyone. I'm Len Cedric B. Flores, and for the next topic is all about the strategic importance of transportation. So the first one is enhances customer service. On-time deliveries ensure food freshness, boosting guest satisfaction in dining and events. Transportation ensures that goods arrive on time and in good condition. In industries like hospitality and food service, timely delivery directly affects product freshness and customer satisfaction. Example, a hotel that receives fresh vegetables and meat early in the morning can prepare high quality meals for guests. If deliveries are delayed, food quality suffers and guest complaints may increase. Next is supports operational continuity. Prevents stockouts that disrupt kitchen operation or housekeeping, keeping services seamless. Reliable transportation prevents shortages of essential supplies. Continuous operations depend on having the right materials available when needed. If a restaurant's supplier delivers cooking gas and ingredients on schedule, kitchen operations run smoothly. And when delayed deliveries may force the restaurant to stop serving certain menu items. And the next is drives cost and profitability. Accounts for up to 60% of logistic cost, optimize routes, lower menu expenses, and improve margins. Transportation is a major part of logistics cost. Efficient transport planning reduces fuel consumptions, labor costs, and spoilage, which improve profitability. Example, a catering company that plans optimized delivery routes can reduce fuel expenses and avoid unnecessary trips, lowering overall operating costs and increasing profit margins. And the last one is expands market access. Enables global sourcing for seasonal menus and timely event setups, enhancing competitiveness. So, effective transportation allows businesses to source products from different regions and serve wider markets, increasing competitiveness. Example, a hotel can import premium seafood from another country for special events because reliable transportation ensures the product arrives fresh and on time. The next topic is about key factors influencing transportation costs. First one is mode choice. Different transportation modes have different costs and speeds. Choosing the right mode balances costs and urgency. Example, air transport is used to deliver imported seafood quickly but a high cost, while sea freight is used for bulk items like rice because it is cheaper. So the next is distance and routing. So longer distances and inefficient routes increase fuel use, labor hours, and expenses. Example, supplier using GPS to select shorter delivery routes and can save fuel and reduce delivery time compared to taking longer congested roads. Next is fuel and labor. Rising fuel prices and driver shortages increase transportation costs, especially for refrigerated or long-distance deliveries. Example, when fuel prices increase, delivery companies may add surcharges, raising the cost of transporting frozen foods to restaurants. Next is shipment attributes. The nature of goods such as weight, size, and temperature requirements affects transportation costs. For example, frozen meat requires refrigerated trucks which cost more than standard trucks but prevented food spoilage. Next is capacity and demand. During peak seasons, transportation demand increases, causing higher rates of peak periods and of peak periods offer lower costs. Example, during holidays, delivery fees rise because many hotels and restaurants need supplies at the same time. And the last one is regulations and infrastructure. Government regulations, tolls, customs, fees, and road conditions affect delivery time and cost. Example, poor road conditions may slow down deliveries, increasing the risk of food spoilage and higher maintenance cost for vehicles.
Good day everyone, my name is Dan Cedric Sanyes from Group 12. So my topic is about navigating global logistics in hospitality. So global logistics is the system that ensures goods moves smoothly across countries, and it involves cross-border transport to carry products internationally, custom clearance to meet legal requirements, international courier to handle shipping, and bounded warehouse to store goods securely until duties are paid. So the first one is address complexity. So it manage extended lead times, tariff and documentation, currency function, and geopolitical risk that delay imports. So isa-isa natin siya. So extended lead time. So shipment takes longer to the distance and custom clearance. So ito yung mga um, yung pag nag-add sila ng ng araw or oras kasi malayo yung lugar na orderan nyo ng mga goods. So, next is tariff and documentation. So, isama ko na lang to, and it is import duties and paperwork vary across countries. So, ito naman yung mga minamanage yung mga papel bago i ipa-deliver sa ibang lugar. So, next is currency fluctuation. Ito naman is yung ano niya, nagbabago yung mga currency rates niya, and ano siya, depende siya, pwede siya magbago ng presyo during the delivery. So, next is geopolitical risk. So, political instability or trade restriction can disrupt supply chain. So, ito naman yung ano, if ever na ito naman yung ano, yung pwede magbago to kasi ano, kasi na-restrict siya. It depende kasi pwede siyang hindi ipa-deliver sa ibang bansa kasi hindi to pwede sa ating lugar. So, next is implement strategies. So, those regional distribution centers, dual source, bonded inventory, and custom brokers to streamline operation. So, ano natin ito? So, regional distribution centers. So, position good closer to hotel and resort to reduce delay. So, ito naman yung ano, distribution centers. Ito yung para ano yung mga goods na ililipat sa malapit na lugar, and para hindi, if ever na magkakaroon man ng shortage sa ano sa isang hotel ay hindi, para mapabilis niya yung ano pag-deliver ng mga goods. So, dual dual sourcing. So, ito naman yung ano, gumagamit sila ng iba't ibang kumukuha sila sa iba't ibang ano supplier kasi may mga times kasi na ano siya, nagkakaroon ng ano shortage of the supply kasi depende, pwede rin kasi dun sa isang source na kinukuha nyo is ano, hindi sakto sa hinihiling nyo yung demand na hinihingi nyo sa mga supply na pangangailangan ng isang hotel. So, next is banded inventory. Store goods in a custom controlled warehouse to define duties. So, ito naman yung ano, mga nilalagay nila yung ano nila, mga goods na in-order nila sa ibang supplier, and ano na siya, meron dito yung mga nagbabantay sa warehouse para if ever na ano, may defect, ano na lang nila, and ito naman, kinokontrol nila yun kung ano, kasi may iba-iba tayong mga goods sa isang hotel, and kailangan talaga ma-manage yun para ano siya, ano niya yung mga kakulangan o kaya ano siya. Next, custom broker. So, specialists who manage import, regulation, and speed up clearance. So, ito naman yung mga ano, yung parang mga special. So, ito yung mga i-import mga kahit iba-ibang gamit, and parang pinapabilis lang din nila yung clearance kasi sa ibang tao is mabagal siya mag-process kasi mga ilang araw pa yun bago maano. Hindi katulad dito sa mga custom brokers is mas napapabilis nila yung clearance kasi may mga ano sila, source. So, that's all. So, next is transportation and assignment model theory overview. This optimization tools to help minimize costs while meeting supply and demand in logistics. So, first is transportation model. A linear programming approach to allocate shipments from multiple sources to destinations, minimizing total cost under supply demand constraints. So, uh, what to anong meaning nito? So, ano siya, it's to find the cheapest way to ship goods from multiple source to multiple destination. So, for example of this is bakery has 3 branches and 4 stores. So, each branch has a cake supply and each store has a demand. So the model calculates how many cakes to send from each branch to each store to minimize the delivery cost. So next is assignment model, specialized for one-to-one matching and matching the Hungarian algorithm efficiently pairs resources like trucks to tasks and optimizing time or cost. So what it does, so that to match one resource to one task efficiently. For example, is you have 5 delivery trucks and 5 routes. So the model assign each trucks to one route to minimize total driving time or fuel costs. So next is advanced extension. Include transshipment for multiple stop routes, vehicle routing which time windows for time deliveries and multiple commodity follows for diverse goods. So isa-isahin po natin siya. So first is transshipment. So it allows goods to pass to intermediate stops. For example, ano siya, the cakes come from bakery to a central hub, then to store vehicle. So next is build vehicle routing which time windows. So plans delivery routes which specific time slots. So for example, may magdi-deliver kayo ng cakes dun sa school na dapat mga 8 to 9 AM na nandun na. And sa office naman between nasa 10 to 11 AM. So dapat may oras talaga na yung may may 2 oras kung anong oras siya makakarating. So next is multi-commodity flows. So um, it handles different types of goods. So for example, bakery siya. So magde-deliver siya meron siyang i-deliver kasi may iba-iba silang So magde-deliver ka ng cakes, cookies, and bread from multiple bakeries to various stores, each which different needs. So magkakaiba yung mga ano nila, kakaiba yung mga pangangailangan nila sa shop nila. Ganun. That's it. So next is applying models, hospitality for example. So transport model. So it is a scenario and decision objective. So it it means it presents a small numerical example where supplies from commissionary and vendor to mass satisfy the hotel demand. So the objective is to minimize combined transport and spoilage costs. So um, ito yung ito yung table niya is ito yung meaning na H1, H2, H3 is ito yung hotel 1, 2, and 3. So 250. Ito naman yung 200, ito yung 250, yung mga number na 'to, ito yung mga meal na dini-deliver sa isang hotel. So, commissioner commissary. So ito yung mga nakapag na sila is naka-prepared or supplier ng mga hotel. So, kaya itong mga price nila dito sa mga iba't ibang hoteles, ito naman yung mga sa transport. So, kung i-deliver nila sa hotel is less yung price. So, kasi sila yung supplier and paiba-iba yung prices niya kasi iba-iba yung quantity yung pinapa-deliver sa isang hotel. So, ito naman yung vendors is 300. So, ito naman, sila naman yung nagbebenta dun sa isang hotel and nag-add sila ng onting price. So, magkaroon sila sarili ng profit. Kaya, ito yung mga supply na nadi-deliver bawat hotel. So, ito yung supply, 500 and 300. So, yun lang.
Good day everyone, my name is Clifford Frank T. Echo from VSHM22 and I'm here to explain or discuss to you why transportation is the backbone of logistics in hospitality. So here are the examples for applied in hospitality, and number one is the perishables routing. So in perishables in routing, you have to consolidate daily deliveries to reduce trips while preserving the freshness. So we need to have this strategy to balance fewer trips with temperature control that it needs for consolidation often uses cross-docking and scheduled pickups. So consolidation, it is the combining small shipments from several suppliers or for several destinations into one larger shipment to reduce per unit per cost rather. And then we have also the cross-docking. This is the immediate transfer of inbound goods to outbound vehicles with minimal storage time. And next we have the banquet logistics. Banquet logistics assign the drivers and crew to minimize setup time. So we have the operational practice to ensure event readiness, of course, without guest interruption through careful scheduling and assignment. So we have also the setup time. This is the time needed to install the equipment, arrange furniture, or prepare food at the event of the location. And next is the cruise operations. For sea, for replenishment rather, at home port, air, and critical spares. So we have the example showing like modal mix decision based on urgency and cost for onboard supplies. So like home port, we have the primary port ship resupplies and maintains inventories between voyages, and the critical spares or the essential parts whose absence could stop operation or endanger safety, justifying faster transport. And we have the small F&B outlet. This is the two suppliers alternating 2 days to balance the cost and freshness. So we have the tactical suppliers scheduling to manage perishable quality and the logistic cost. Next is the key idea of this. So transportation links all supply chain nodes and heavily influence service, inventory, cost, and we have to recap all the central claim and its implications for operations strategy. We have service or the level of performance delivered to customers, like timeliness and the quality. And then we have the inventory, of course, the stock of goods held to meet demand and buffer uncertainty. We have the hospitality focus, the cold chain, last mile timing, event logistics, cruise peculiarities. So we have to highlight the most relevant aspects of transportation for hospitality managers. We also have the analytical tools, transportation LP and assignment models provide structured decisions. So it emphasizes that quantitative tools to convert operational choices into measurable, optimizable trade-offs. So we have the conclusion and the recommendations. Of course, the conclusion of this report is the effective transport planning is essential for guest satisfaction and operational profitability. And it states why transportation deserves a managerial attention in hospitality. Of course, the transport planning, designing routes, schedules, and mode of choices to meet service targets and cost effectively. So we have also the recommendations for managers. A manager should adopt total cost view, invest in Team S cold chain monitoring, design contingency plans. We have the use simple models, and we have they have to have these practical steps in hospitality managers can take to improve transport performance. So they also have this total cost view, which is the evaluating decisions by summing transport inventory, warehousing, spoilage, and service failures. Of course, costs rather than focusing on single line items. So we have also the most important thing we should have these contingency plans. We have predefined actions to respond to disruptions like port closures, driver strikes, or fuel spikes. And the next step for us students is to build an Excel transportation metrics, run sensitivity on fuel price and demand spikes. We have actionable exercise to apply learned concept with data. How and see result change under different assumptions. So we have the sensitivity analysis testing how outcomes vary when input parameters change to identify and robust decisions. And to conclude this topic, as a hospitality student, I've learned that transportation is truly the backbone of logistics. Without it, hotels, restaurants, and resorts wouldn't able to get the food, linens, equipment, or supplies they need on time. When I studied concept of logistical transportation systems, I realized that it's not about the trucks or ships. It's about the whole network modes, infrastructure, and technology that ensures goods to move smoothly. And I also saw the importance of transportation in guest satisfaction. If deliveries are late, of course, food isn't fresh, or event setups are delayed, the guest experience suffers. And reliable transport keeps on operation running and protects the reputation and hospitality of a business. So understanding the factors that affect transportation cost like fuel, distance, shipment size, and seasonality helps see me why managers must balance cost with service quality. Like for example, paying more refrigerated vans may save us from bigger losses due to spoilage. And learning about global logistics opened my eyes how internal sourcing works. Like hotels often imports specialty ingredients, furniture, or technology, and that means dealing with the customs, tariffs, and no longer lead times. Knowing this prepares to manage risk and plan ahead. And finally, the transportation and assignment models showed me the math and the optimization aren't abstract. They're practical tools actually. These models help managers decide which supplier should serve which hotel, or which driver should be assigned to which event, and so costs are minimized and service is maximized. So I need to learn this because transportation decisions directly affect the guest satisfaction, operational efficiency, and profitability in hospitality. And by understanding logistics and applying these models, I can make a smarter choice about sourcing, delivery schedules, and planning. And it prepares me not just to work in hotels or restaurant, but lead operations that are efficient, sustainable, and guest focused. That's all. Thank you for listening.